What if Samsung's biggest surprise at Unpacked isn't the Galaxy Z Fold 7 or even the Z Flip 7, but a third foldable that's cheaper and more accessible than anything we've seen from them before? Just as people were getting ready for the usual two-model foldable launch, something unexpected happened. A slip-up from Spigen, one of the biggest case makers, might have just confirmed that a Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE is real and it could be launching alongside the main devices this July. For a brief moment, Spigen listed cases for the Galaxy Z Flip 7 and a mysterious Z Flip 7 FE. These listings didn't stay up for long, but they were spotted quickly by Android Central and tech watchers. What makes this leak stand out is that Samsung is using the 7 in the name, clearly showing this fan edition isn't an afterthought. Last year's foldable FE didn't include a number in the name, which led to confusion. This time, Samsung seems to be telling us this is part of the main family, just more affordable, and that makes things exciting. According to leaks and early renders, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE is expected to keep the same design as the standard model, with a 6.7-inch main screen and a 3.4-inch cover display. So from the outside, it won't scream budget, but under the hood, some things are different. Instead of the usual Snapdragon processor, the phone is rumored to run on Samsung's own Exynos 2408 chip. It might come with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. The screen should still offer full high-definition plus resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate, so everyday performance might still feel smooth and sharp. But here's where it really matters: the price. Reports from South Korea say it could cost around 1 million Korean won. That's about 30% cheaper than the Galaxy Z Flip 6. If that pricing sticks for other markets, Samsung could be about to launch its most affordable foldable ever without waiting months after launch like they usually do with fan edition phones. That's a smart move. The market is getting more crowded. New players like nothing are offering sleek designs and powerful specs at lower prices. And with budget options from Chinese brands slowly entering the global foldable scene, Samsung can't afford to sit back. Bringing the Fed to launch alongside the Z Flip 7 and Fold 7 shows that Samsung is shifting its strategy. It wants to get more people into foldables right now, not just those willing to spend over $1,000. The idea of a foldable phone that's affordable, stylish, and part of the main lineup could be a game changer for users who've been curious about foldables but couldn't justify the price. This might finally be the right time. What if your next smartwatch could reflect your personality better than ever right out of the box? As we get closer to Samsung's big Unpacked event on July 9th, new leaks are revealing some exciting updates for the upcoming Galaxy Watch 8 series. And no, it's not just about better specs or faster performance. This time, it's all about customization. A recent software teardown has pulled back the curtain on 7 new watch faces, giving us a sneak peek into what could be Samsung's most flexible smartwatch experience yet. These designs were spotted in the Galaxy Watch 7 Manager app, which usually controls watch features, but this time it held a few surprises. Even though these features are not always guaranteed to make it to launch, they line up almost perfectly with what we saw in recent promotional images of the Galaxy Watch 8. That's why people are convinced these faces are going to be part of the final product. Let's talk about what's actually coming. There's minimal analog and minimal digital, both designed to keep things simple and clean, likely great for those who want something straightforward. Then there's Sporty Classic and Heritage Classic, clearly targeting users who like the traditional look of analog watches with a modern twist. Interactive number seems like a fun one, possibly with touch-based features or animations. But the most practical ones might be Gradient Info Board and Circle Info Board, both of which seem to focus on showing important information like steps, heart rate, and notifications right on the main screen. It's not just about how the watch looks, it's also about how useful it is at a glance. That's something smartwatch users always appreciate, getting all your key data in one place without tapping through menus. And that brings us to the bigger picture. Samsung isn't only updating the software, the hardware is getting a refresh too. Leaks suggest the Galaxy Watch 8 Ultra might come with a new squircle shape, basically a mix between a square and a circle, which could help with more screen space while keeping the watch stylish. That means you're not only getting more face designs, but a whole new way of wearing them. This focus on visual customization feels like a smart move, especially when smartwatches are becoming fashion statements as much as tech tools, and if these watch faces are already built into the app code, it's a strong sign they'll be part of the launch. Of course, nothing is official until Samsung says so on stage, but with the event just around the corner, we won't have to wait much longer. If this leak is any clue, then Samsung is finally making personalization a bigger priority for its wearable line. That could be a big deal for people who want their devices to look and feel just right without downloading third-party apps. Could Apple really move its logo after all these years? That's the big question stirring up conversations ever since rumors started pointing to a bold redesign for the iPhone 17 Pro to iPhone 17 Pro Max. While nothing is confirmed yet, some recent leaks are adding fuel to the fire, especially one suggesting Apple may not only change the look of the camera system, but also shift the position of its iconic logo. The latest leak comes from Majin Buu, a known leaker with a hit or miss record. He claims that the iPhone 17 Pro series will feature a much larger camera island that stretches across the top of the phone, forcing Apple to place the logo lower on the back panel. That's right, after years of keeping the Apple logo dead center, the company might be moving it toward the bottom half of the phone, just beneath the rumored camera bar. According to Boo, this information comes from a company that designs and manufactures phone cases, and they're already working on molds based on this new design. Now, of course, case manufacturers often get early dimensions and layouts, but it's worth taking this with a grain of salt. Still, it wouldn't be the first time Apple moved its logo. If you remember, with the iPhone 11 in 2019, Apple dropped the iPhone text from the back and shifted the logo to the center. So Apple has made logo adjustments before, though they're not frequent. If this leak turns out to be accurate, it would mark the first major change to the camera layout since that same iPhone 11 series. Back then, the square bump was introduced. Now, the rumor is that while the three main cameras will still be on the left side, the flash and LiDAR scanner could shift to the right, creating a stretched horizontal camera bar design. This could give the iPhone a more symmetrical look, something Apple has been inching toward over the years. There was also talk earlier from the same source about a new vapor chamber cooling system being introduced in the iPhone 17 Pro, aimed at improving thermal performance during gaming or heavy multitasking. But Majin Buu now seems less certain about that detail, hinting that Apple might be struggling to implement it in time. It's also possible the feature could be delayed or dropped altogether, depending on testing results. What makes this situation even more interesting is the timing. Apple is going head-to-head with Samsung's Galaxy S25 series, which is expected to bring performance improvements, but not a huge design change. So a more dramatic iPhone redesign could help Apple grab more attention and stand out visually from its main rival. Apple usually plays it safe with design tweaks, preferring subtle over flashy. But sometimes it throws in a surprise, and with competition heating up, now might be the perfect moment for a bold move.